Nah, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175. It happened at 168. I want to go back to 160. I'm good at 175. I'm world champion here. So if you want to come up to fight at 175, I'm all good with that.
As much as I love Canelo, I just think Terence for me is the man. I like that he can fight southpaw, orthodox.
With the massive showdown between Canelo and Terence Crawford approaching fast, Benavidez made it clear he's ready and waiting, but on his terms. Benavidez, the WBC light heavyweight champion, has chased a fight with Canelo for years, especially when both were competing at super middleweight, but despite repeated efforts, the matchup never came to life. Now, as Benavidez prepares to defend his light heavyweight title against Anthony Yarde this November, he seems to have accepted that a fight with Canelo at 168 pounds is no longer a realistic dream. Instead, his focus has shifted firmly to 175 pounds. According to him, there's no going back to super middleweight.
To be honest with you, I don't think a fight with me and Canelo would ever happen at 168. I want to go back to 160. I'm good at 175. I'm world champion here. So if you want to come up to fight at 175, I'm all good with that. But right now, I can't live in this fantasy world where like, oh, maybe I'm going to get this fight, maybe this and that. I've done my job. I've done everything to get this fight. It's one of the biggest fights in boxing. If a person don't want to make it happen, I'm not going to waste my time trying to make a fight happen with a person that doesn't want to fight me. So I'm just trying to fight the people who are really trying to fight.
When asked if he'd consider fighting the winner of the Canelo vs. Crawford bout, Benavidez didn't sugarcoat his answer. He said he's done holding on to fantasies and is more concerned with what's ahead in his own division. But that doesn't mean he doesn't have thoughts on the fight itself. His prediction leaned slightly in favor of Canelo due to the weight difference, calling it a 60-40 fight, but he was full of praise for Crawford's skills. For Benavidez, Crawford remains one of the most technically gifted fighters in the sport.
Fight. More like a 60-40 only because of the weight difference, but you can't take Crawford's skill away. You know, you have to give him credit for skill. He's an amazing fighter, he's an amazing technician in the ring, and I think it's like 60-40.
Interestingly, Benavidez ruled out the possibility of fighting Crawford, even if the Nebraska-born star pulls off a historic win against Canelo. Crawford, who is already a 3-weight world champion and undisputed in 2 of them, would have to jump 2 full divisions to reach Benavidez's weight class. Benavidez insists the size gap would be too large and doesn't see that as a viable matchup.
Nah, I wouldn't fight Crawford. I'm at 175.
The buzz around Canelo vs. Crawford has reached a fever pitch as the September 13th fight draws closer, with Crawford stepping up 2 weight classes to take on the undisputed super middleweight champion. Many in the boxing world are divided over who has the edge. Some argue Canelo's physicality and size give him the upper hand, while others believe Crawford's superior boxing IQ and adaptability could carry him to victory.
Yeah, man, you know, Canelo is really, Canelo's gonna be Canelo, man. He's really, I think all the variables lie on Crawford,
Absolutely.
Crawford is confident, but Crawford is outside of his zone. It's all about the training camp, the preparation, the extra weight, but still being agile, I believe that it's tactics and game plan. I hope he works behind that jab. I hope he works behind the feint, and I hope he uses small little angles and different things, almost like when Charlo got dropped, right? After he got dropped, he never got dropped again. And because he never got dropped again, there's evidence.
Former heavyweight champion Joseph Parker weighed in, stating his preference for Crawford. Despite being a fan of Canelo, Parker feels Crawford's ability to switch between orthodox and southpaw, along with his ring intelligence and resilience, makes him the more complete fighter. According to Parker, if Crawford hopes to pull off the upset, he must be prepared to dig deep and push through Canelo's pressure. Canelo, Parker warned, is a beast and won't be easy to break down.
As much as I love Canelo, I just think Terence for me is the man. I like that he can fight southpaw, orthodox.
Meanwhile, Saudi boxing chief Turki Al Sheikh has unveiled plans that promise to make the Canelo-Crawford event much more than just a fight night. Determined to move the sport away from traditional pay-per-view models, Al Sheikh has partnered with DAZN to offer the event free to subscribers, but that's only the beginning.
24 and in the beginning of 25, if we go with this average, it will be around between 10 to 15 pay-per-view, and this is too much. You understand me? If he have it and know it by subscribe. How's Riyadh season have their money back? This is, we'll discuss it with the zone. That maybe we'll split the cards in 3 divisions: A plus, B, and C. C will charge it with the zone with little money, the B middle money, and the A with lump sum one time.
In what he described as a global boxing festival, the undercard has now expanded to more than 20 fights spread across 2 or even 3 days. Al Sheikh's vision is to turn this into a global showcase of talent, giving up-and-coming fighters from around the world a stage to shine. This unique format is designed to give fight fans an unforgettable multi-day experience.
We will have also, maybe we can see morale and some fighters coming back to Riyadh season. That's mean we have the September show, we have now the August show, then September show with Netflix, then the November, the Night of the Champion, and then December. We are thinking to open slot for January. We never decide until now. We never decide yet, and we will after that having maybe the February card.
Hamza Shiraz has officially thrown his name into the conversation after a commanding victory over Edgar Berlanga in New York. The rising British-Pakistani star didn't just win, he made a statement catching the attention of none other than Turki Al Sheikh. The influential figure was quick to heap praise on Shiraz, even floating the possibility of a future clash with Canelo Alvarez, potentially as early as 2026. Al Sheikh highlighted Shiraz's composure under fire and expressed confidence that championship gold lies in his future. While a showdown with Canelo remains speculative at this stage, Shiraz's emergence adds another compelling layer to the list of contenders eyeing the Mexican superstar, especially as the spotlight intensifies ahead of the upcoming Vegas showdown.
Next, right? What other cards do you have?
Hamza, there is a lot. First, we are talking now, we are discussing with Canelo to renew the contract with him with more fights. We don't know. Maybe we can reach some points to have Canelo with us forever until he's retired. In my plan, there is Hamza, there is Mobili, the French, there is also maybe one day Benavidez, there is Bevel, there is a lot of fights for Canelo.
The involvement of UFC President Dana White has also been a point of discussion. Although White has indicated he may not oversee every element of the show, he's previously mentioned that the structure of the event feels similar to a UFC card. With White involved and Al Sheikh aiming to revolutionize boxing's format, the sport could be on the verge of a dramatic shift.
You know, I've been talking about it for a long time. You know, I've had a lot of criticism of boxing over the years. And now here I am. It's time to put my money where my mouth is. And tickets go on sale today, actually, for Canelo Crawford. Legion Stadium, September 13th, tickets on sale today. You know, for me to be able to, my first boxing match that I'm going to promote, other than McGregor Mayweather, is Canelo versus Crawford. You know, two of the greatest fighters of our era. And a big, massive fight in a stadium in Las Vegas. I mean, this whole thing just sort of fell in my lap. I have other plans in 26 and what I'm going to do with boxing.
Moving on, as the predictions loom in, Roy Jones Jr. also shared his perspective, diving deeper into the technical side of things. He said that while promotional antics and weight debates grab headlines, what matters most is the skill each fighter brings to the ring. In Crawford, he sees hunger, the kind of hunger that stems from years of waiting for the right opportunity. Crawford has finally found that opportunity, and according to Jones, he's ready to seize it. On the other hand, he acknowledged that Canelo, even if not as hungry, remains a consummate entertainer and a warrior who consistently steps up for big fights. For Roy, the outcome will hinge on how well Crawford can absorb Canelo's power.
I pay no attention to the pushing and shoving. I pay no attention to the weight factor. What I pay attention to is the skill level that both guys show in and out of the ring. And what I'm seeing is I see a hungry Crawford, a Crawford that has been looking for the opportunity for a long time, finally getting the opportunity. and really ready to grab the opportunity.
While skill can often neutralize size, the real question will be whether Crawford's chin can hold up against Canelo's notoriously heavy hands. Jones believes Crawford is likely already preparing by sparring with bigger fighters, super middleweights, and even light heavyweights to simulate Canelo's power. If Crawford has confidence in his ability to take those shots, he stands a real chance at creating history.
And with Canelo, I see a guy who not necessarily hungry, but loves to entertain. Loves to give us the big fights. Always tries to give the big fights. He finds a way to give us big fights. Not gonna always win them, but he always tries to give them to us. So he'll be a guy that, if he shows up and does the exact right thing, he can win the fight. If he don't do the right thing, which I don't see him doing, I don't know why he would at this point in his career. I don't know. It'll all be predicated upon how well Terence can take his punch.
Yeah. You said you don't think, or you don't look into the weight difference. Why?
When you know how to box, when you're as skillful as Terence Crawford is, weight don't really matter much.
Former two-weight world champion Carl Frampton also threw his support behind Crawford, claiming he's been on the Crawford train since the Errol Spence fight. Back then, when he predicted that Crawford would beat Canelo someday, he said people laughed at him. But now, with the fight officially set, Frampton is standing by his original prediction. He admitted that the fight might not be an all-out war. In fact, he thinks it may be a slow-paced technical bout. For Crawford to win, Frampton believes he'll need to fight smart and keep the match under control. He also noted that Canelo's fights aren't as explosive as they once were, and that could play into Crawford's hands.
I think it's a great fight. It may not be the best fight in the world to watch, you know. I think that for Crawford to win, it'll have to be a boring fight. I think he uses distance and his movement. I think Canelo's feet are a little bit slower now than they used to be. I think Crawford wins. I said it when he beat Errol Spence and everybody laughed at me. I said it that long ago, and I genuinely believe that Crawford wins.
Jesse "Bam" Rodriguez, one of boxing's rising stars, had his own interesting take. While recognizing the difficulty of the matchup, he leaned slightly toward Crawford as well. He praised Crawford's ability to maintain distance and box intelligently, but warned that Canelo's punching power could change the course of the fight at any moment. Rodriguez emphasized that for Crawford to win, he would have to box perfectly for 12 rounds, an incredibly tall order against someone as dangerous and experienced as Canelo. He made it clear, one mistake and the fight could be over.
It's a difficult fight. You know, Crawford, he has the skills to box and stay on the outside, but Canelo has the power to size advantage, so it's a very difficult fight to call. I know Crawford will have to box a perfect fight for 12 rounds. Canelo can change the fight with one punch, so it's a very difficult fight. I've been saying that I favor Crawford. People don't like it, but it is what it is. I would favor Crawford in this fight.
Sports commentator Max Kellerman added yet another layer of hype, predicting that the Alvarez-Crawford bout could become the most watched championship fight in nearly 5 decades. He compared it to the iconic 1978 rematch between Muhammad Ali and Leon Spinks, which reportedly reached 90 million television sets. Kellerman argued that while past mega fights on pay-per-view might pull in millions of buys, they're still a fraction of what streaming can reach. With Netflix hosting this fight and ditching the traditional PPV model, he expects viewership to explode, possibly reaching levels unseen since Ali's heyday.
This will, listen, because of Netflix, this will be the most watched fight, championship fight, in almost 50 years. This is going to be because Muhammad Ali fought Leon Spinks in the rematch in '78, and they did 90 million TV sets. 90 million. And since then, what has even come close? The biggest fights have all been on pay-per-view, and they do 2 million buys. Oh my God, 3-4 million buys, Mayweather-Pacquiao. As I keep saying, if 5 people per TV set watch, per buy, watch, that's 20 million people. This is gonna do multiples of that. So, so when you look at it from like a commercial point of view, it'll easily be the biggest boxing event I've ever covered.
So with that, like for fans that are new to boxing, like what would you equate this fight to from boxing of the old? Or like, how would you sell this fight to a new fan?
Not as a It's a bigger event than what I'm about to tell you. But
beyond the numbers, the match itself pits two of boxing's all-time greats against each other. Both are 4-division champions and 2-time undisputed title holders. Canelo comes in with a record of 63 wins, 2 losses, and 2 draws, including 39 knockouts. Crawford remains undefeated at 41 and 0 with 31 knockouts. For both men, this fight could mark the final defining moment of their Hall of Fame careers.
Well, like I said, Canelo is the last fighter in our generation that's a Hall of Famer, you know, that got the biggest name in the sport. So, you know, I chose to go up and weight and to actually try to conquer him from, you know, all his achievements in the division. So why not?
As the world prepares to tune in on September 13th, anticipation continues to grow. Predictions are pouring in from all corners of the boxing world, and fans are eager to see if Crawford can defy the odds by moving up 2 weight classes to take on one of the sport's most powerful champions. Meanwhile, David Benavidez stands ready, watching closely, and hoping that Canelo, win or lose, decides to come to light heavyweight where Benavidez says he'll be waiting. But if that never happens, the Mexican monster seems content building his own legacy at 175 pounds, focused solely on what lies ahead. With groundbreaking promotions, bold claims, and unprecedented access, the Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford Showdown is shaping up to be more than just a title fight. It's becoming a once-in-a-generation event. This isn't just boxing, this is legacy on the line. From the contrasting styles and weight class shockwaves to the heated buildup and massive implications for the sport's future, we're diving deep into everything that makes this clash so historic. And with fresh contenders like Hamza Shiraz entering the spotlight, the post-Canelo era is already taking shape. But will he leave the throne willingly? Hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss a second of our coverage leading up to the biggest fight of the decade. Let's get into it.